Good afternoon, my lovelies. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. It's noon, and we know what that means. It means that I had promised you today that I would be making a cranberry chutney with you on the Facebook Live. So a little while ago, I had actually listed the ingredients, and I hope that you guys were able to grab a hold of them. If not, save this video so that you can come back to it for later on and refer to it when you actually want to make your own chutney, okay? So I will get rolling with the ingredients. First thing, tie your hair because you don't want your hair in anybody's food. Number one thing, hello, welcome. I see a couple of people, but I'm not able to see the names. So let me quickly flip the camera and I will show you exactly how we're going to do it. Now, this is a chutney that I've tried making with cranberries and it always comes out great. I've also made used the same technique, and I've made the chutney with mangoes in mango season. I have made this chutney with kiwi. I have made this chutney with tomatoes and apples. And each time it just really comes out great. So this is a chutney that, hi Sarita, welcome. This is a chutney that actually came from my mother's side of the family. I don't know if you know, but she's Bengali. So there's a whole tradition of eating tomato chutney at the end of the meal. Just before you eat your kheer or your rice pudding, you're always served a tomato chutney. And so I was very intrigued as to what they put in it. How come it always tastes so amazing? And so this is an adaptation of that chutney. Of course, that chutney uses Panch Foron, which is a combination of 5 seed spices, which I won't be doing today because I can imagine that a lot of you probably don't have access to those in your pantry. So I've just chosen some very basic. I will also tell you variations based on things that you can just pull from your refrigerator and still make a seasonal chutney, which is going to taste absolutely bomb. So whether it's you're entertaining, whether you're just making it for your own family, definitely give it a shot, okay? So enough chit-chatting. I am going to flip the camera so you can actually see what all we've got going on. Let me know if the focus is not that great. And since my camera is flipped down, I won't be able to read the comments as they're coming, but I will definitely flip it back up later on and make room for the comments, okay? So what I am using here is a Ocean Spray packet of cranberries. This is only when I'm on the live. Okay, so this is, let me see, what is the weight of this? This is 12 ounces. Okay, so this is a 12-ounce pack. We are going to open it and we have to wash it really well. Because sometimes there can be dirt on it, there can be some dust particles, and also sometimes you'll see a couple of cranberries are wilted and withered, and we don't want any of the, see, like you see this one, this is kind of softened and it's past its prime. So just weed out any of the ones that you think are kind of, like see this one. These are just super tart, and if you have never bitten into a raw cranberry, do it. It's literally going to stretch your ears. That's what sour and tart things do to be. So okay, so I'm gonna head over to the sink and wash these. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my pan started, and you can do it too. Turn on the flame and add in 1 cup of brown sugar or white sugar, whatever you've got, and half a cup of water. Okay, now if you want to use jaggery, or if you don't do sugar at all, you can use maple syrup, you can use honey, you can also use applesauce. Like a lot of people who only want to do fruit based and they don't want to do any artificial sugar at all, they will actually be able to do this with maybe a fruit juice. They'll be able to do it with applesauce. Okay, so we are going to let this melt down. I am going to give this a quick wash and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I rinsed out my cranberries. Sarita, I hope you're cooking along with me. Hi Subhashini Raj, we are making cranberry chutney. So we're gonna give it an Indian twist. I hope you were able to grab the ingredients that I've listed prior to this post, and you can make it with us. So in goes 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of water. We're going to let that come to the boil and add everything at the same time. You don't have to wait for the water to boil or anything. Just plop in your cranberries, and this process really goes very fast. Like under 5 to 7 minutes everything will be boiling, and this is going to go very fast. So as long as you weeded out the cranberries that were not that great and washed them well, we can proceed to the next step. Now to give it this Indian twist, there's a couple of things that we need. We are going to need fresh ginger, which is going to go in. Okay, we will also need cumin seeds. And we are going to give them a prior treatment so that they will really blend well with what we've got going on. I had also asked you to come up with either marmalade or fruit preserves, but if you don't have any kind of store-bought jam or jelly or fruit preserve, you can use tamarind pulp. If you have tamarind chutney at home, if you have tamarind pulp at home, you can do that. If you have applesauce, you can absolutely do that. For those of my flavor lovers who like a little smoky flavor, hi Lauren, we are making cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. Welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. For those of you who like a little smoky flavor into their chutneys, you can definitely take the help of something like this, which is a store-bought barbecue sauce. A couple of squirts in that is going to make your chutney very smoky. So it'll be good if you're serving this chutney on a block of brie, then you want that smokiness, you can add a couple of squirts of this, okay? If you like your chutney spicy, so this is actually a very tart flavor profile. So the things that complement tartness are spiciness, sweetness, and saltiness. So if you can use a store-bought chili sauce like this. You can add crushed red pepper flakes. You can add cayenne pepper. There's so many ways to do this. Or you can use black pepper. Okay? We will be using regular salt. And we will be using some black salt. So black salt is literally a very, almost like a sulfur kind of a flavor. This black salt that I have is combined with cumin. So that's why it's a little too dark. But usually it's a pink color salt. Okay? So that's pretty much what we need. We also need usually one big orange, but because mine are so tiny, I'm going to use two. We're going to squeeze this just to complement and add a little more liquid. Now, I want you to pay close attention to how these cranberries are boiling. I'm going to bring you in close. You see, as they boil, they actually split and crack open. Once that happens, the combination of the syrup that's developing at the bottom along with the boiling of these cranberries is going to release all the pectins that you need from the fruit. And it's going to be a nice, mushy, chutney-like texture. Okay? I prefer to add the salt here. Some people always like to add the salt in the end, depending on how the sweet and the sour have balanced out. It's totally your choice. Whenever you make chutneys or any kind of foods that you're going to preserve, whether it's a chutney, a pickle, or a brine, always use sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. Do not use chemical-based salts. I think I've mentioned this in so many videos. By now, you guys know it like the back of your hand. Hi, Nadira. Welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. I started out with 1 packet of cranberries, which was 12 ounces, a cup of brown sugar or white sugar, whatever you've got, and half a cup of water have all gone in and they're boiling together. All the cranberries are cracking open and the pulp is coming out. The good thing about cranberries is that the pit, there is no big pit in the middle of the fruit, okay? All right, so I'm going to add the salt very sparingly because I will calibrate it. I like my chutney on the sweeter side and not on the salty side. But again, it's a matter of personal preference. So I've added regular salt. I will add a little bit of the black salt because it gives it that umami and the kick, just about this much. I don't know what is the measure of this, but it's called 1 pinch. In Hindi, we call it ek chutki. So 1 pinch means 1 pinch, 2 chutki means 2 pinches, 3 chutki means 3 pinches, and that's how you dig into your jar. Yeah, no rocket science, but it always works, especially for the hand-me-down recipes. Okay, you can take a closer look. All of these cranberries are cracking open. Sarita, I don't know if you're cooking with me, and if you can drop in the comments below how yours is looking. Are you close to looking like this? Okay, now this would be a good time to also go ahead and add your ginger. So with the sour notes, this is a very bright, kind of like a sharp note. What you want to do is you want to add the earthiness of ginger to tone it down and also help it to develop the warmth that you need for, especially for this season. So I'm going to use a microplane. My ginger is organic, so I won't be peeling the skin. If your ginger is not organic, then don't eat the skin. Wash it well and grate it right on top of this thing. There's no such thing as too much or too little. Just put as much as you can handle. If you have little kids in the house, you can use ginger powder instead of fresh ginger, but I just feel like ginger root has that amazing flavor which ginger powder can never come close to. So you're seeing this is rapidly boiling. In goes all the ginger. Oh, it smells so good. So cranberries themselves really don't have an aroma, right? So you have to really build the aromatics into your chutney. And see how it's becoming frothy and syrupy? That's how you know that your sugar and your water went to work. And all of these fruits are going to literally break down. And you will get something that almost looks gelatinous like this. You see this? This is one batch that I've already done. This is how it's going to look. This is without salt though. So after boiling, I have not added any apricot preserve to this. I have not added any agar-agar. I have not added any gelatin. This is absolutely just how it comes out after it's been boiling for about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, now since I'm going to make the version with the fruit preserves, this is a good time to add in your tamarind pulp or your fruit preserve, whatever you're using. And you can use as much or as little. If you're using orange marmalade, it's really going to have a nice citrusy kick to it. I only have peach, so that's what I'm going to use. We're not big jam eaters in our house. Okay, so it's really all about building the balance of all these flavors that are going on. If you work with edible essential oils, you can drop in your citrus or grapefruit orange oil, whatever you have. If not, we are going to add a little bit of orange zest from the orange that we are about to use. Okay, so this can be put away. We have no use for it anymore. For zesting anything, make sure you wash it really, really well. And then be very careful because we only want the very top. We don't want any of the white pith because that's bitter. I think I should take it out in a plate instead of dropping it directly so that you can see what it's like. And so all the oils are actually contained right next to the skin, right? When you zest something, whether it's orange zest for your Christmas cake, whether it's key limes for your key lime pie, or whether it's lemon zest for your lemonade garnish, all those oils that are right next to the invincible. She will not stop calling and I cannot get off this live video. I think I should have called her first, right? Okay, so there is some orange zest that I've done. I'm going to go down to the finer one and do some from there. Just make sure you don't get any of the white parts. Just get only the orange part. If you're using lemon zest, then only get the yellow part. You see how the orange part is getting scraped and grated, but not the pith. Okay? So that way you know you're using everything. Alrighty. So that's a good amount of orange zest that went in there. I'm going to set this on another burner and allow it to boil. Meanwhile, I will show you what we do with the cumin and the spices, okay? So instead of moving the camera, I'm just going to move around a couple of things here. Okay, now you're going to need a cast iron skillet or a non-stick pan or something. Put that on your stove. Heat it up. Keep an eye on your cranberry chutney, okay? So let me just refocus the camera so you can see both. Hi, Maria. Good morning. Hi, Nisha. Devashish Roy, Mamaji, welcome. Yes, Sarita is cooking and she is with us and hers is also still boiling. So that's great, Sarita. I appreciate. You're such a trooper to be doing this with me. Okay, so you can see this is almost becoming jam-like. Now, if you have a family that loves cinnamon or that loves nutmeg, this would be a good time to go and add that to your cranberry chutney because this is the time when you can infuse all of those things into your chutney. Okay, so this is happening. My pan is moderately hot. I'm going to go ahead and add some cumin seeds to this. Okay. Now, cumin is one spice that has a very different flavor when it's raw. It has a very different flavor when you cook it, when you're boiling it. And it has a very different flavor when you roast it. So if anybody has a Latina heritage or Indian heritage, you know the beauty of cumin, or even a Middle Eastern heritage. We all know the beauty of cumin and how it can be added at different stages of cooking to completely draw out different kind of aromas from it. Okay. All right, I just want to bring your, so this is going to roast. My pan is on medium to low heat. We do not, repeat, do not want to change the color of this cumin, but as it roasts, you will be able to smell like a woody, kind of a smoky smell filling the air. When that wafts your nostrils, that's the time to turn it off, okay? Do not blacken the cumin. This is also called bhuna jeera in Hindi. Hi Beena, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making a cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. Into this pan, we have 12 ounces of fresh cranberries, 1 cup of brown sugar and half a cup of water, a little bit of salt, and some orange zest. We also added fresh ginger. Be very careful when it splatters. This is going to be very, very hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Sumita Bhattacharya, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. Amra banachi cranberry chutney. Tumio banao amader sathe. Very similar to tomato chutney, but instead of using panchforon, we are only using cumin and ginger. Okay, so you will be able to smell it. Like, you can't escape this. You'll be able to smell it just dry roasted. The idea is not only just to draw the moisture out from this spice, but also to have a nice roasted flavor coming out of it. Okay, you can see the color has changed a little bit, but it's not burnt. It's not dark brown. It should still look like, I don't know if you can see. Can you guys see this? Yeah. So it should still look like what it started out, but just a couple of shades darker. Do not make it as black as the pan. Okay. So that's done. I'm going to turn this off. No need to overdo this. And then I think I'm going to use a rolling pin just to show you how to crush this thing. The whole kitchen is actually smelling of roasted cumin right now. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool for a bit. Let me bring this guy back over here and I'm going to show you. Sarita, look at this cue. If you get this, that means it's ready to come off the stove, okay? So go into your chutney, give it a stir. Hi, Suman Buji, how are you? Oh my God, that's my aunt, who's my dad's sister. And she's a phenomenal, I mean phenomenal chef. Like when I was growing up, I would always admire her for her creativity. She was the best baker I ever knew. She could do tatting and crocheting and knitting. And oh my God, she is just so talented. I guess it runs in the family. It's a good thing that I inherited something from her, right? Only the best qualities of hers. All right, so if this is what your chutney is looking like right now, it's pretty homogeneous. You can see the cranberry, the sugar. Looks good. I'm definitely trying. Yeah, you should definitely give it a try, Sumita. You'll be very pleased. It's just so easy to make. Just make it exactly like tomato chutney. Don't do anything different, but you put panchforon, okay? Don't put just the cumin. You have access to more spices, so put that. So this is the back of your spoon, right? So if your chutney is coating the back of your spoon, be very careful. I can do this because my fingers are a little more immune to heat. Run your finger to the back of this. I have to immediately lick it. And you see, it does not come back together. That means it's not flowing. This is the perfect consistency that you want for your chutney. You're going to turn off the flame. In my opinion, it's still pretty tart. Okay, and I want it a little bit on the sweeter side. So we are going to transfer this whole chutney into this. So I'm making a big batch because I have a Thanksgiving party. So I'm making a big batch of it. This will be the dipping sauce that will go with our turkey kebabs. And it will also be on the charcuterie board. Just look at the vibrant color of this thing. So amazing, right? If you have a silicone spatula, just scrape up everything. Do not waste this whole syrupy goodness. Like, do not waste any of this. Okay. Now you're going to say, hey, you said to bring oranges. We haven't even added that. Honey, 2 words for you. Be patient. Okay. So my pan is clean. I don't feel bad about anything because I don't like to throw anything out. All right. This is done. It's almost like a compote. So if you were doing like a cranberry dessert, you wouldn't add the salt. You'll do everything else and make a compote out of it and then serve it with poached pears or serve it with whipped cream. There's like so many directions that you can take with this thing. And try a chutney every once in a while whenever the fruits are in abundance and they're about to go off for the season. Whether it's mangoes, whether it's strawberries, whether it's Bing cherries, whether it's plums. Just follow the same technique for any of those chutneys. And it'll still come out tasting absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we are going to give this a stir. You see, it's piping hot. Just look at the color of this. Oh my God. What artificial color can compete with the goodness of nature that God has provided us with, right? Check it out. All right. Jumping back over to the cumin that has been roasted. I'm going to grind this. You able to see it? Yeah, okay. And I'm going to use a rolling pin, but if you have a coffee grinder, you can absolutely use that. It's still a little warm. If you have a mortar and pestle, you can do that. Do not make a fine powder of it because that textural element of it is really interesting. If you like everything to be smooth and you don't like any texture, even this texture of the cranberry sauce is going to bother you. So you can take in a hand blender and go in with that and pulse it out. Okay? Just do it when it's cold so that the syrupy cranberry stuff does not splatter on you. When it cools down, you can do that. And if you need to add a little water to get it going, you should. Okay, so that's my cumin. I'm going to add this to my chutney. You can put as little or as much as you want and keep tasting it along the way to know that it's to your liking or not. If you notice, I've also got some mint leaves. Usually we don't use mint in Indian desserts or chutneys, but if you're doing it for a Western recipe or you're doing it for a continental American kind of a spread for Thanksgiving, then you can add some mint either for garnish or just to add some additional flavor. I like to just roll the mint like this and chop it. Sarita, are you with me? I hope you've gotten to the same stage. So Sarita Vishwanath, who's also watching with us, is actually cooking along with us. So that's really great. We can see some first-hand results. Sometimes people say, oh, just because you're making it, it's easy for you because you've been making it for many years. Honey, I try to keep it so simple so that anybody can replicate this, okay? Let's see, where are we at? Oh, video is stopped, really? All right, Sarita is with me. Let me say, just quickly recap. Anybody else that tuned in? Kanta Sarti is watching. Hi, Kanta. Oh, Suman is saying she was planning to make this chutney for Thanksgiving. Yes. So you have something to be thankful for. That's me. Oh, Buju, you're so sweet. Yes, I have something to be thankful for. And that is you. Not because you're my aunt, but you have always been an inspiration in how to be creative. So yes, I think you were the best mom out of all the brothers and sisters that my dad had. And I think you were the most creative. You are the most creative. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that the glitch of the video stopping has resolved itself because I can see comments from everybody else. Michael Nalini Naidu is here. Good evening. Oh no, afternoon. She's in New York. All right, so Kanta is tuning in. Samita says it looks good. Yes, Sarita, so I think you are with me right now. Okay, now we come to the part where we have to add the citrus. So I'm going to jump right back into the recipe. Okay. I haven't yet put all of the cumin. You can see I still have some sitting here. And I'm going to take a call on it after I taste everything. Now, depending on what brand of cranberries you're using, what kind of sugar you're using, how much has it boiled for, what is the consistency of the final, pectin-loaded texture that you have, it'll all determine how much salt and how much sugar you'd like to add to this thing. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut my oranges. I just like to cut them like this. How beautiful is that? Like, come on, man. Nature is so beautiful. Fruits and vegetables are just such a blessing. Okay, and the reason for putting anything citrus in your chutney, whether you're doing a mango chutney or a kiwi chutney or any kind of chutney, is that it really gives it that nice punch and it wakes you up. Now, if you're Indian, you may know that we also like to add asafoetida to our chutneys. We add it to our pani puri water. We add it to our chutneys. Only because it gives that punch, right? I won't be adding it to this chutney, but if you're making it at home and you really want that desi flavor, go ahead and add some hing or asafoetida to it. It's a bit sour. I can add a little chili powder. Okay, so Sarita says it tastes really good after adding the roasted cumin. Thank you, Sarita. I appreciate that. If you still find it a little sour, you can either enhance the spiciness of it or you can increase the sugar content of it. Add the orange first and then see if it's still too sour for you or not, okay? So don't be quick to add anything else. This was the last thing that needed to go in. So taste it after you've added this. And then make the judgment if it needs a little more sugar. Does it need a little more salt? Now, because the orange juice is fresh and it's not cooked down with the chutney, you cannot use this chutney you cannot leave it on the countertop, or you cannot, how should I say, put it in the fridge and forget about it. So consume it within a week or so. You can freeze this. It freezes really well. But you can't put it in your fridge endlessly. The shelf life is kind of limited to about a week or so. And don't bottle this till it's completely cooled, okay? Now, if you are Indian and you have melon seeds in your fridge, or you have sesame seeds that you want to put in your chutney, go ahead and do that. If you don't like the texture, you can take a hand blender and you can blend this into a smooth puree. The pips are not significant enough, so they don't bother you. But if you are really anal about it, you can go ahead and use a strainer and you can strain it out. There are so many ways to make this please every palate that you're trying to create it for. I am going to grab something with which I want to show you how it looks like, and I also need to taste for myself. So I have these crisps. These are made in Diwali. They are called Chora Fali, and they're only made in Diwali. And it's not even from the part of the world that I grew up in. It's a Gujarati thing. All right, Sarita, can you add the orange juice, and then tell me if it's gonna work or not? Okay, so I'm just gonna go and dip this thing right in here. It's still warm. Check it out, guys. Just check it out, man. Oh, how cool is that? Let's do a taste test. You know, the proof is in the pudding. Guys, I kid you not. This chip is very spicy, but the saltiness, the sourness, and the sweetness of this chutney is totally balanced after adding the orange juice. No double dipping, right? And take another one. Let me show you how that goes. Quality control is the best part of my job, I think. Testing recipes, right? Okay, so one more. Baby, it hits all the notes. Like, you know, chutneys. So the word chutney or chatna actually means to lick in Hindi. And I kid you not, this chutney is finger licking good. I'm not saying it because I made it, but because it really is. All right, Sarita has given us a testimony. It tastes awesome after adding the orange juice. The sourness has reduced, but I still want a little bit heat to the chutney. You know, go ahead, Sarita, because I don't do heat at all. So I haven't added any. But if you like heat in your chutney, add red pepper flakes, add black peppercorns, whatever rocks your boat, make it yours. And if you like the flavor of hing, Sarita, add the asafoetida as well to your chutney. I feel like if I was doing this for a desi party, I would totally do it with hing. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of the cumin. Okay, and there was somebody who was from Bengal. I think it was Sumita Bhattacharya. So Sumita, if you're going to do this, then just dry roast your 5-seed mixture or the Panch Foron. Dry roast that and then add it all the way in the end back to the chutney. Okay, for those of you who are trying to do this without sugar, yes, please add the chili powder. You can add chili flakes. Any kind of podi that you like, you can add podi too. It would be really, really good. Okay, so thank you, Sarita, for volunteering to cook with me. This is really, really cool. I love the fact that I'm doing it here and someone actually is doing it at home. If you would like more of these kind of series where I'm cooking on this side and you're cooking on the other side and we can do these quick things for special occasions, I would love to know more. Definitely drop that in the comments. Also, let me know what other fruits can you think of that would make a good chutney. So this is quiz number 1. What is a good fruit that you can think of with which we can make chutneys? I gave you the answer in the beginning of this session. So I gave you some fine examples. So you can't use the same examples. You have to use some other examples. So I've given you the example of mangoes. I've done it with mangoes. I've done it with kiwis. I've done it with plums, strawberries, raspberries, cherries. Oh my God, I love cherry chutney. And I think I did it with blueberries as well, but the whole thing just became black. Like it was guava. Oh my God, Sarita. So when you use guava, also use something like a pineapple or a kiwi to kind of balance out the texture. I feel like the guava seeds could be a little bit of a problem, but if you go to the Hispanic grocery stores like Bogopa or Food Bazaar, sometimes you get the guava pulp. So maybe you can make it with the guava pulp, right? So that's a good idea. The things that don't do well in chutneys is something like bananas or even melons, like watermelon, cantaloupe. I don't think they will make a good chutney. So you need something that's pulpy and you need something that's kind of smooth that you can break down easily. That's what lends itself really well to making these chutneys. Now, if you want to make sorbets from cranberry, let's just get creative, right? We already talked about if you want to give it a smoky flavor, you can add a little bit of store-bought barbecue sauce. If you want to add it, if you want to add more heat, you can use some chili sauce or sambal. So all those things you can do. Let's say you want to make a sharbat, or you want to make a sorbet, or you want to make a dessert, or a drink out of cranberry. Just make everything like the way I made it, and then top it with ginger ale and ice cubes. That's it. That's your spritzer. So ginger ale, club soda, and ice cubes, and then garnish it with some mint. You may need to adjust the sweetness of it. If you don't want to use club soda, you can use a combination of ginger ale and just mint leaves, or you can use Sprite and the cranberry compote at the bottom. And also you can take this cranberry into your ice cubes, put a little bit of that, and then fill it with Sprite. So when you're doing like your festive parties, or you're making like a punch bowl or something, you take those ice cubes which are made out of Sprite, and then they have a little cranberry chutney in the middle. That's just so cool. Just wait for your chutneys to cool down, so that when you freeze it, it's not going to, it's going to have the desired effect. So there's so many ways this can go. This could be a compote in your desserts. If you're doing dessert shots, if you're doing like a cranberry cheesecake, you can put your cheesecake in a blender. Just get any cake from Costco or from your supermarket, break it up and put the cake crumbles at the bottom of your shot glass. Whipped cream or cream cheese combination, and then add the compote on top, and then add another dollop of whipped cream on top. It's a really, really good dessert. It's not a huge portion, so you could do really small dessert portions for all of your guests. There's really just so many things that you can do with this. Hi Bindu, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We just finished making the cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. For those people that joined a little bit late and missed out the beginning of the process, please catch the replay. And if you plan to make this for the holidays, save this video, share this video, and then make it again when you can watch the replay and cook along. I always like to do food in real time, so that when you make it at home, you shouldn't have any problems. You can reproduce the recipe. I wonder how it will taste. Oh, the cranberry, the dessert shots. Is that what you're talking about, Nadira? Are you talking about the dessert? It's heavenly after adding this. Yes, Sarita. So Sarita is the hero of the day because she says she added chili powder to it and it tastes bomb. So with chili powder, I would say if you're new to eating heat, then boil it when you're boiling your cranberries. You don't want any raw chili powder in your stomach because it could really irritate the lining of it. Chili flakes are fine because you're able to digest them and you're okay. You can use a hot sauce which has already been boiled and pasteurized and processed, so it's not so irritating. You can use sriracha. You can use sambal olek. But if you're using chili powder, I would recommend boil it when you're boiling the sugar and the water and the cranberries, so that the heat will actually start cooking, right? Oh, Nadira says to use the mixture to... I'm not able to read the entire comment. What does it take? For the drinks? For the beverage? Is that what you're asking, Nadira? Hi, Shalini. How are you? Okay, I think she's asking about the beverage, the spritzer. Yes, so make the spritzer. It'll almost taste like a masala. How do I say? It'll taste like a masala lemonade with cranberry. That's the taste you're going to get. If you've ever had masala lemonade with black salt and cumin in it, that's exactly what it's going to taste like. And you top it up with ice. No, not like Vindaloo. No, oh, for putting chilies in your chutney. Yes, if you like heat, then put the chilies in your chutney, but cook them out. Don't put raw chili powder after it's been cooked. The only thing that you need to add after it's been cooked is the roasted cumin and the fresh orange juice. If you don't have orange, you can add lemon, but I feel like orange juice really balances out the sweetness and the sourness of it, so it's really great. And it's already quite a sour and a tart chutney to begin with, so it's beginning to cool, and you'll see it'll thicken more as it cools, right? Like I said, if you don't like the texture, I like everything to be a little more chunky. Even my peanut butter or whatever, I always like chunks because I like the textural variation. But if you're one of those people who likes everything smooth, just take a hand blender and blend all this till it's smooth, okay? And always use a silicone spatula because it helps you to scrape the last morsels of everything, whether it's a liquid, whether it's whatever, okay? So I hope that you guys will give this a try. I will try to come back with more seasonal recipes. Be on the lookout for Black Friday, because on Black Friday I'm doing 4 new book drops. There will be a curry book, and I'm going to do it at a blow away price, so you have to claim it before the timer runs out. There is a curry book that will be on sale. There is an Indian breads book that will, and these are all instant downloads. You don't have to wait for me to ship anything. You click on it, you buy it, and it comes to your mailbox. So there is an Indian breads masterclass book that is coming out. There is a rice masterclass book where there's biryanis, rice pudding, you name it, all of that. And then there is a book which is the Indian street food. So there is papri chaat, aloo tikki, all the chutneys and how it's put together. Everything is in that book. So they're just going to be small digital downloads that you can do right into your inbox. But stay tuned for Black Friday. There are some deals that are coming up for all the people that have supported my journey along the way. Special pricing is going to be available for all of you, and then pricing will change for everybody else. Shalini, if you are on the mailing list, like if you've gone to my website and downloaded the free chana masala recipe, you are already in the mailing list. So if you are in the mailing list, you will automatically get notifications to your inbox. So be on the lookout. But I will also be live several times on Facebook to let you know that, hey, this is the book that we're dropping. Click here and then, grab your copy. So I will let you know every single time along the day, and it will be a constant thing that I will be doing all over the, every single day. So there will be something for Black Friday, there will be something for Shop Small Saturday, there will be something for Sunday, and there will be something for Cyber Monday. And I will also allow you to bundle them up and get better pricing. So of course, the Vegan Indian Home and the Spice of Life, those books are going to be also on sale. So I'm really trying to make it more accessible to you guys. If you want to take a class, you can always book classes. I won't be teaching the weekend of Thanksgiving, but you can always book a class or buy the class as a gift for somebody to give to them during the holidays, and that's totally possible. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this little video that we did together of the cranberry chutney. Sushma ji, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We just finished making cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. Nina Dav, hello. We are just getting done and we're wrapping up. We just finished making some cranberry chutney with an Indian twist. Definitely catch the replay and save the video so that you can bring the same cranberry chutney to your holiday table. I hope you have a healthy, happy, and peaceful holiday with your family and friends. Tell them how much they matter and validate their presence in your life every single day. I will see you soon in the next one. Be blissful, be flavorful. You are all my family, and I'm so thankful for your love and support. I will see you soon in another video. Until then, keep rocking, keep smiling, be blissful. Namaste.